The New York Yankees got a much-needed win on Saturday night, and with another victory on Sunday Night Baseball, they have a chance to take 2 out of 3 this weekend against the Boston Red Sox. However, lately, things have not been so great for the Bronx Bombers. They have lost 8 out of the last 10 games. And joining me from Boston to talk some Yankee baseball is New York Post Yankees beat writer Dan Martin. Dan, how you doing? How's Beantown?
Okay, Dex, it's better for the Yanks after they won last night.
I'm sure it is. Now, Dan, just weeks ago, the Yanks had the best record in baseball. They were cruising along, and now they don't even have the best record in the American League. So what is wrong with the Bronx Bombers?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. You know, everything that went right for them in that first half, their starting pitching, their lineup, their health. It's all taken a downturn in the last month, really, and even more so over the last 8 or 9 games here on this road trip. You know, they just haven't hit as well. Stanton's been out of the lineup. Rizzo is out of the lineup. It's been too much Aaron Judge and not enough everyone else. And that starting pitching that we raved about for the first 3 months of the season, which exceeded expectations, has kind of come back down to earth. Because Severino's hurt and those other guys haven't pitched quite as well. So they tried to address that in getting Frankie Montas from Oakland. He pitched better last night, so that was a promising sign. But look, it was probably unrealistic to think that they were going to keep up the pace that they were on to win 118, 120 games. But no one expected this sudden drop in production that they've had here, losing 8 of 9 before winning last night.
What should Yankee fans be more concerned about with this team through this recent rough stretch? Their inability to hit with runners in scoring position, or closer Clay Holmes blowing 3 straight saves? What's more concerning?
I think Yankee fans are capable of being concerned about both of those things. But really, I would say the bullpen right now, they've got to sort it out. You know, last night, Scott Efros closed the game. They don't know quite where to use Chapman. Holmes is obviously in a bad stretch, and you know, he's not that experienced yet. So there are a lot of questions there. Now, when it comes to the runners in scoring position, look, this is not the lineup that they want. You know, Stanton is a huge part of the middle of their lineup. And just a bunch of guys are going through rough stretches right now. I really don't think, like, LeMahieu has been consistent all year. He's hit a downturn. Donaldson has been up and down. He's in a downturn. Torres is slumping. It's been an uncanny way of everyone going bad at the same time, except for Aaron Judge. I think that'll turn around. The bullpen, there are more questions there because they have unproven arms, and they've used them a lot lately, and they're going to have to use them a lot down the stretch. So they're going to have to sort out who's the closer. Is it Chapman? Is it Holmes? Is it going to be by committee? And that's what Aaron Boone and the rest of his coaching staff are going to have to figure out the last 2 months of the season here, because the trade deadline is come and gone. And this is the team. Now, they also have guys like Clark Schmidt and Ron Marinaccio down in the minors who will come up at some point, maybe in September down the stretch. And they would probably provide a pretty good boost to the bullpen. But right now, you know, they're getting work in the minors that they need. So we don't know what the team is going to look like in September. But they're hoping that what they're going through now is over with by the time that they get to the playoffs.
That is indeed the hope. Now, Dan, look, it's not all doom and gloom. The Yanks are in first place with a 10.5-game lead to start a play on Sunday. However, as we've seen over the years in baseball, it can get late real early. So do you think this team is peaked too early, or is this just a bump in the road that they can overcome here?
Well, Aaron Judge actually used that term the other night after they lost. So he said, you know, you don't want to peak too early, and he doesn't think that they have. It all depends on the health of guys like Severino and Matt Carpenter, who's out, whether he can come back for the playoffs, and Giancarlo Stanton. You know, their lineup that was so deep earlier in the year is all of a sudden not looking deep at all. So, yeah, it's definitely possible that they peak too early. But all it takes is a good run at the right time. They've proven that they're capable of putting together that type of run. At this point last year, nobody would have considered the Atlanta Braves frontrunners for the World Series, but they made a couple good moves at the deadline. They went on a run in September and October, and they were champions. So it's a little tough for the Yankees right now, not playing very well. At the trade deadline, they traded for 2 guys, essentially, who are hurt, in Frankie Montas coming back from a shoulder injury, so he's not in top form yet, and Harrison Bader from the Cardinals, who's out with a foot injury that they gave up Jordan Montgomery for. If those guys come back and they get into top form, the lineup, the pitching rotation are going to look a lot different. And we might look back on this as just, like you said, a bump in the road. But right now, it doesn't feel like a bump in the road because it's been a month of subpar play and a week of really poor play. Maybe Saturday night turn that around. But the only way to find out is to see what happens over the next few weeks.
That is right, Dan. Time will tell. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks. Yankee fans will be watching. You will be covering it all there. That is Dan Martin, New York Post Yankees beat writer. Dan, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Dex.